Hello and welcome to episode number 307 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is going to be Monday night. No, it's not. It's going to be Friday Night SmackDown for week 2 of November 2022. And it's going to be featuring a Liberty Championship Lumberjack match between Cora Jade and Shotzi. It's going to be featuring an Angel Garza against Johnny Gargano. It's going to be featuring Cesaro versus Cameron Grimes, and a United States Championship match between Warden and Ilja Dragunov. And also last week we saw Roman Reigns and 4 members of the Bloodline throw their hat into the ring for War Games next week when they were attacked by those 3 random masked men who we don't know who they are. But yeah, War Games is set. It's going to be Roman, the Usos, Jacob Fatu, and somebody else against Seth Rollins, Solo Sikoa, and 3 other people. That is on purpose because, like I said, I didn't do a women's War Games match this year because they are both men's. But I wanted to differentiate them both somewhat. So the Grand Jury one is going to be 4v4, and then the Bloodline one is going to be 5v5. So yeah, we continue to build to Survivor Series and a whole lot more we build on tonight's show. Without any further ado, let's just jump straight into it. We start the show off, Seth and Solo come out, and Seth goes, ha, Roman, how you doing this week, I hear you're not doing so well, you're not here this week, big dog, what's up, has a big dog gotta be put down, did he get, embarrassed and humbled last week? Now, I'm sure you were aware, Roman, these young trios, these young hungry trios, these rapscallions that walk around here causing mayhem in this company, they get paid off by the WWE Champion to cause mayhem around about this time of year, actually. What does that remind you of, Roman, huh? So, make no mistake about it, those 3 individuals, they are not, for lack of a better term, disciples of Seth Rollins. They are not my plan B, like Solo Sikoa. They are merely here to do a favor for Seth freaking Rollins. So, Roman, you want War Games? I'm ready to go to war with you, big dog. Because, when the lights are up brightest and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns 10 years on go to war against each other, we know who comes out on top, baby. And it ain't Roman Reigns, it ain't the tribal chief, it ain't the head of the table. It's the WWE Champion. It's the architect. It's the visionary. It's the revolutionary. It's Seth freaking Rollins. Let me talk to you, Seth. Come on, congratulations, okay, Seth. You're the WWE Champion, That's great. That's real great, You got your gang of goons. You paid your gang of goons to attack Roman Reigns behind his back, Is that something not do? Sure could well be, but is it a coward's move? Yeah. Now, Seth, don't get this twisted. I don't got a bone to pick with you. I ain't got a bone to pick with Roman Reigns. I ain't got a dog in this fight. Quite frankly, I hope you tear each other's heads off because I can't stand either of you. But here's the facts. This is a fact of life, Seth freaking Rollins. You coming out here admitting you paid off those 3 masked goons to take out Roman Reigns last week. Yeah? Well, let me talk to you, Seth Rollins. Let me ask you this. Did you pay those same 3 goons to make their mark at the expense of L.A. Knight all those weeks ago when we first saw them here on SmackDown ahead of my match with Warden for the U.S. title, Seth Rollins? He goes, oh, So here's the thing, LA Knight, I'm kind of busy right now, with the main eventers at the top of the show. Why would I pay those guys to attack you? I got no business with you. I don't even really care about you. Oh, Seth freaking Rollins, let me talk to you, because don't get this twisted. If it wasn't for that attack by those 3 goons, LA Knight would be standing here as the United States Champion right now. So, if you want to take responsibility for their actions against Roman Reigns, you take responsibility for their actions against me, and you see me in the ring about it tonight, that WWE Championship on the line. Seth freaking Rollins versus L.A. Knight. Yeah. And Seth goes, well, you know, I'm kind of busy with War Games at Survivor Series. I ain't got a title defense. And, you know, I have to defend this title every 30 days, so tonight should be a cakewalk. You want to make the mistake of stepping into the visionary L.A. Knight. I'll see you in the ring later on tonight. So, big main event set up in the opening segment. L.A. Knight, rightfully, I should add, you know, he says Seth paid off the three masked men to attack Roman. He's like, well, bitch, did you, when they attacked me? But Seth said he had nothing to do with that. But Seth also said he had nothing to do with running Cody down, and we now know that was bullshit. So who knows where the truth lies with this fucker. 88! There we go. I knew one day I'd have a banger. I knew this would be it. Warden versus Ilja Dragunov for the US title. Gets an 88. And Warden retains again, of course. Makes defense number 6 of the US title. He pins him with the powerbomb in 13:49. 82 for Dragunov, 79 for Warden. And this is kind of a, I imagine, you know, kind of a star-making performance for Dragunov, you know. Because it's so good, like, I like the headcanon stuff like this. Like, he's obviously a heel, but he still fights like he's Ilja Dragunov. So, you know he's a underdog. And he's, like, getting all the adrenaline, all that shit. So, he probably would still win some fans over at the end, but Warden would put him down with the powerbomb. But it would open a lot of eyes to the caliber of wrestler that he is. But Warden marches on his dominant United States Championship run. After the match, we then cut to AJ and Escobar. They're watching the match, and like I just said, you know, they're sort of like, oh, you know, this Ilja Dragunov guy, he's really great, you know. That was, like, I think he's a douchebag hanging around with Regal, but, you know, he put up a good show. And then Kayla walks up and goes, AJ, Santos, you know, what's going on here? You know, you seem to be, you know, together now. And AJ goes, well, here's the thing, Kayla Braxton, you know, Santos came to me, you know, when he first came over to SmackDown. And he told me he knows that I would know why he was helping me out. And I didn't for the longest time. I couldn't think why this man would come to the aid of me specifically on this show. But I realize now that the old saying is true. He was in the Balor Club. You know, Finn never kicked him out. You know, Swerve, he left. Ridge, he left. Santos was just drafted away. You know, and you know what they always say, when you're in the club for life. And now he marched on the Survivor Series. Me, Santos, Finn, and my old good brothers over there on Raw gonna do the damn work against Regal and his boys at Survivor Series. And that is too sweet. He throws up a too sweet. I guess Santos would too sweet him back, and then, you know, Kayla would sort of like throw a too sweet in as well. And they go, no, just shake their head at him. He's like, oh, fuck. We then cut to a dark, smoky room. Aleister Black's there in a chair. Imagine he's in his black suit and he's got his glasses on and he's sort of like reading something. When Mark Andrews sort of like walks up behind him, starts slapping his chair, goes, hey, buddy, so how'd that go last week? And he goes, well, we won. We beat Hit Row last week in a 6-man tag team match. And he goes, oh, anything about, you know, the Samson fam? And he goes, yes, you know, Elias, or as he liked to be called in that form, Ezekiel, challenged us back to their home at Survivor Series. And that'll be him, his brother Ezekiel, and his brother Ernie, and his... Why am I even talking about this? They're all the same person. I don't know how he pulled off those tricks, Mark. But we're going over there and we're going to find the answer, and we're going to sort this out once and for all. And he's like, well, good luck with that. Like, let me know how you get on. Then Asa just sort of glares at him and he goes, we're going to sort it out. As in all of us. And he goes, well, sure, yeah, I'm fine. Like, why would I not be fine? And Asa just shakes his head and just goes, oh my goodness. Another banger. Cesaro and Cameron Grimes get an 89. Cameron Grimes gets an 83. Cesaro gets an 89. You know, what a match. And it is Cesaro who wins. He makes Grimes tap out of a sharpshooter, apparently, in 10:36. And 83 for Grimes is really good. And an 89 for Cesaro is, Cesaro score. That's bang average for Cesaro, but bang average for Cesaro is better than 90% of the roster. So, make of that what you will. But yes, last week Cesaro said he was over here on SmackDown to, get men back on his side and give the spotlight to people who think they deserve it. And Grimes, I guess, proved him right here, proved that he did deserve that spotlight, because, my God, what a match. We then go to the barber shop. Mello and Trick are in there. And Mello goes, Dan, we see the damn work last week? Kofi Kingston, WWE Champion, Kofi Mania. Been here, 14, 15 years at this point? Mello beat him. He goes, yeah, that's what you tell him, Mello. He goes, that's it. Check it. You see the hit list here? Let's run them down once again for you. Edge, beat him. Keith Lee, beat him. Dolph Ziggler, beat him. Seth freaking Rollins, beat him. Oni Lorcan, beat him. Baron Corbin, Kofi Kingston. Check them all off. Trick goes, oh, you're on a damn run, Mello. Who's your next target? Mello goes, I'm glad you asked, Trick. Because my next target is pretty and simple, That man Big E running his mouth when I challenge Kofi. He don't want to get too comfy on Mello's brand, He may have been a world champion over on Raw, but Mello weren't on Raw. Mello would have this. Mello could have taken that title off him anytime he damn well wanted to. But I let him slide. But now's the time for me to bounce that check. Time to whoop that ass and prove there's only one top guy here on SmackDown, Trick. And who's that? Is that Big E? Because that's damn sure not Big E, Mello, he's booty. Because is it Kofi Kingston? It ain't Kofi Kingston, Mello. Who is it, Trick? It's Mello. Because Mello don't miss. And that's the truth. And it's always gonna be the truth. And I'm going straight to the top, and there ain't a damn thing any of you can do about it. And then get a quick backstage segment. Bronson Reed and Ricochet, Last week, a sort of sudden departure from the Hurt Business for Bronson Reed, because him and Ricochet want to get the Cyclone back together. Because, I want to do that because I like that team. And they're discussing, their plan when greetings and the salutations. In walk Bron Breakker and Keith Lee, Two more, singles guys looking to branch out into the tag world. And he says, I see that, the once dominant Raw tag team champions over here are looking to spread their wings once again and re-enter the world of tag team professional wrestling here on SmackDown. But that would not be such an easy feat, because last time you were the tag team champions, you didn't have to deal with a duo quite as dangerous as the Brains and the Brawn, the Limit Breakers, Mr. Keith Lee and Mr. Bronathan Breakker. He goes, that's right. He may talk all weird and talk all polite, but he's got the brains and I'm got the smash. And if you want to get in our face and stop our path of becoming the next SmackDown Tag Team Champions, we'll see you in the ring next week. And he goes, well, mate, throwing right into the deep end, I see, But let's make one thing about it, I see 4 world-class singles competitors standing right here. And Ricochet goes, yeah, 4 world-class singles competitors, but I only see 1 world-class tag team. You two are still sort of figuring yourself out. So did we dive into the deep end? Or did you? Yeah, just kind of an impromptu big tag match next week, The return of the Cyclone against the Limit Breakers. Should be a banger. We then cut to the ring for the Toxic Lounge. And Mandy goes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm never happy to look at, the people that work here and the people that come and see this show. But I'm especially miffed tonight. And let me tell you why, because on Heat, my girls, Gigi, JC, they got their chance to become the women's tag team champions, taking on 2 of those J-Flow numpties. Do you know what happens? Do you see the tag team championships around the waist of Gigi and JC? And JC's like, no, you don't. I'll tell you why we don't. It's not because of us. It's not even because of those J-Flow 2 girls. It's because of Deonna and Chelsea losing that match for us, Mandy. We should be the tag team champions right now, but we're not, because those two are not as good as us, and sometimes it just pains, to be this good, and like everyone, you're the target in a triple threat match, and like it's ugh. And he goes, well, make no mistake, because not being pinned, I believe you two should earn a right to get a 2-on-2 singles tag team match with J-Flow. Then out come Anne-Marie and Kelsey, who step into the lounge. And they're like, well, so this is the Toxic Lounge, it's so great to be here finally. But Mandy, I can't help but sit back there and watch as you ramble on about why Gigi and JC were screwed and why you think they deserve another shot at the Tag Team Championships. Don't you think it's time for new blood to step up and challenge for those titles instead of the old, you getting your 5th opportunity? Mandy goes, I think we should stop getting opportunities once we get a fair and square outcome. Girls. Now, I don't know what you two are doing out here because, Bailey sort of like, destroyed you. And, yeah, you're coming out here, you're looking like the pair of losers that you are, you're proving her right. And Kelsey goes, here's the thing, we're not looking like losers. Mandy's not right. Oh, Bailey's not, I keep calling her Mandy. Bailey's not right, but we're damn sure not going to sit back here and let people, step on our toes and walk all over us, okay? So how about it? Us two against Gigi and JC right now for a future SmackDown Tag Team opportunity. And then Pierce comes out and he goes, I think it is official. Up next, it's going to be Kelsey and Anne-Marie against Gigi and JC. In a match that gets a 6, that's actually okay, for who's in it. But, yeah. But, Toxic Attraction win clean. Gigi pins Kelsey, with the Toxic Attraction finisher. I don't know what it's called, but like the sweep and the kick and that thing. To, I guess, earn them a future women's tag team title match. Who knows when. But Toxic Attraction have got one. 52 for JC, 60 for Gigi, 58 for Kelsey, and a 61 for Anne-Marie. But yeah. Double Trouble beaten clean here tonight on SmackDown. We then cut to I've done the Eiffel Tower before. I guess just some French restaurant. And then David Martin turns to the camera. He's got a French, I don't know what a French beverage would be. What do they drink in France? Wine? He goes, oh, bonjour. I did not see you there. Je m'appelle David Martin. Elle s'appelle Violet Martin. Et tout t'appelle Idriss Inoue et Malik Blade. Now, on Le SmackDown tonight, Johnny Gargano of Le TEW will face off against Angel Garza. Because that match freshens us up for next week when La French Connection become Le SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So we took this time for a nice family meal out here in France, in Paris, or Marseille, or wherever we are. Because this is our last time to celebrate and give a toast to the next SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Idriss Inoue and Malik Blade. And they all like cling their glasses together. And yeah, they're just going to remind us that there's a tag title match next week, but they're not on this week. Because they take whatever opportunity they can to go off to Paris, I guess. We then cut backstage and Anne-Marie and Kelsey are frustrated. And Kelsey goes, I thought we had him, I thought this was going to be our night, Bailey was giving it all that. And, I finally thought that we were going to prove her wrong, prove that we are capable of becoming the tag team champions. And Kayla comes up and goes, Anne-Marie, Kelsey, tough loss out there tonight, What's next for you two? And she goes, really, Kayla, now? Now me and Kelsey are beaten up after we just lost our match are going to come. What's next for us? I don't know. Maybe, Kayla, maybe it's not cut out for this. Maybe we've, and then Bailey sort of walks into fame. She just starts laughing at him, doing that evil Bailey laugh. And she goes, oh, you lost. You lost. Oh, damn shame. You know, girls, you know, Cora used to be just like you. Okay? You know, young, bright, you know, the world at their feet, you know. Primed to be the next face of the women's division. And she was getting whooped because she was so naive about the way things worked here on SmackDown. And, you know, Cora has become a winner. In fact, you're going to be at ringside up next watching Cora win a championship. While you two are back here losing, huh? I don't mean to, you know, brag, but... Oh, god damn it, yes I do. But, you know... The stats are right there. You've got one more chance. Do you want to keep being losers? Or do you want to snap yourself back to the real world? Okay, so the match isn't up next. I thought the match was up next. This is up next. MVP, Bronson Reed, not Bronson Reed, he's not there anymore. Ronnie Hughes and Bobby Lashley come to the ring. And he goes, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, I'd like to give my thanks to the colossal Bronson Reed, you know. Here at the Hurt Business, we take our work very seriously. And if Bronson Reed wasn't feeling satisfied as a member of the Hurt Business, it's best for both of us to, you know, part ways and send him on his way to go team up with Ricochet if that's what he so wants to do. And the door's always open if he wants to return to the Hurt Business in the future. But now that leaves the Hurt Business down a man. That leaves the almighty Bobby Lashley, primetime Ronnie Hughes, and all MVP here as a trio. And I don't know how many businesses you know with just 3 people in them. Okay? But you know, me and the almighty run this thing, and we ain't gonna sit back for long. Because we got applicants coming out the door. And we can't take any more. But we found our man. Ladies and gentlemen, we found the new member of the Hurt Business. Out comes Matt Riddle. And he goes, oh, bro. Like, sorry, like, okay, I'm not the new member of the Hurt Business, obviously, bro. But, like, I just wanted to, you know, come out here and, you know, I've been trying for the past couple of weeks, you know, my boys Hit Row, and, like, I'm trying to get Hit Bro going. Like, you know, Hit Bro, you know, it's like them and me put together. But, you know, Top Dollar and Shanky, bro, those guys, they seem to be, like, really into it. But Swerve, he's been kind of a bummer, dude. And, like, I really want, you know, to win him over, bro. But if I can't, then I gotta spread my options too, bro. So I've been thinking, MVP, you know, hear me out, bro. Pro business, you know, I'm not a member of your group right now, but, you know, you can always take a stallion like me on your team, and I'm damn sure gonna take the stocks for the Hurt Business. And MVP goes, shush, 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 and the crowd stops, and they know what he's gonna say next. He goes, shut your dumb ass up. We don't want you in this group. We found our guy, Riddle. Okay, you're one hell of a fighter. You're an even better wrestler. But this ain't it, Chief. But since you're out here, how about you and the Almighty go one-on-one right now? He goes, damn, bro, like, I can't believe first day on the job, bro, I'm already losing the colleagues. Okay, bro, I'll fight him. This won't be the first time I've had a fight with one of my colleagues, bro. You know, I used to do that for a living. Hell, I still do, you know? And, like, it reminds me of this time when... And then Lashley just slaps Riddle and the match gets underway. For an 86, another banger match on this show. But Riddle, unfortunately, does pass out in the Hurt Lock in 13:53. 79 for Lashley, 88 for Riddle. I should really start doing more with him, but, like, he's getting on the show every week because, you know, his cadence and just his personality is just easy to imitate. And I can just go off on a tangent because that's what the real Riddle does, you know. So By do more with him, I mean put him in a more prominent spot. But yeah, Lashley puts Riddle down. And we don't see the new member of the Hurt Business tonight. But apparently there is one. This is not a segment involving William Regal, but I'm going to have William Regal narrate over, the War Games video package, because he never got to say War Games this year. So we can cut to clips of him saying it in the video, we can say it in the narration, and he can run down, the rules of the match and shit. Because, yeah, I like to do that heading into War Games. I will take a 75, I think. Yeah, that seems fine. Liberty Championship, Lumberjack matches, as I learned, are very funny in this game. Because they are not a stipulation in the game, so I had to set notes for everybody to be at ringside. It says here, Bayley should be at ringside, Dakota Kai, Utami, Kairi, Asuka, Candice, Tony, Morgan, Hams, Anne-Marie, Kelsey, Mandy, Gigi, JC, B-Fab, Violette Martin, who actually shouldn't be there because she's in Paddy, Caden Carr, Katana Chance, Fallon Henley, and Alba Fire. They're all there. The entire SmackDown Women's Division at ringside are watching this Lumberjack match. And obviously, at some point, it's going to spill into a big brawl. Alba Fire and Tony Storm brawl off. Fallon, Morgan, and Hams brawl off a Toxic Attraction. Caden and Katana vibe. And then we have, the two members of Damage Control. You got Dakota Kai and Dakota Kai and Bayley fighting with Utami, Asuka, Kairi, AJ, and Kelsey and Anne-Marie. And it's like, finally the numbers game. And then, Bayley can brawl off with Kairi. Dakota can brawl off with Asuka. Which leaves, Utami, AJ, Kelsey, Anne-Marie in the ring, all cornering Cora. Cora picks up her little bat. She's ready to take them all on. Shotzi's in the opposite corner. When bang, Anne-Marie and Kelsey take down Utami and AJ. And then they assault Shotzi. Toss Shotzi to Cora. And Cora hits that DDT. And then with a pile of bodies all around the ring and inside the ring, the referee counts 1, 2, 3. And we have a new Liberty champion. So a mess, I know, but there was a lot of stories I want to advance here. Mainly the one about Candice getting involved and sticking her getting all up in the grill of... Actually, no, I got it all wrong again. This has been all over the place. Okay, so it is Candice and Utami in the ring because AJ's not here. Okay, and then... Yeah, that's fine. So, yeah, that's why Candice didn't get paid off anybody, because she was there. So, yeah, it was Candice and Utami in the ring. They took them two down. And, yeah. Kelsey and Anne-Marie turned and helped Cora win. And we have a new Liberty champion, Cora Jade. 65 for Cora, 75 for Shotzi. Getting back on track. Grayson Waller's on the phone. He goes, Mike, you're never going to believe it. Not on the show again. It's bullshit, 1 week I think Pierce is really getting it. I think he's really starting, to see the light. And the next week, I come into the show, no Grayson Waller, no Miz. It's getting really bullshit, Okay, I'm going to have to ring you back, Mike, okay? And then Riddle walks in, he goes, what's the matter, bro? You getting angry, bro? And he goes, well, quite frankly, mate, I think it's a bit silly that you're all over these shows, You're trying to become friends with everybody, Hit bro, they didn't want you. The Hurt Business, they didn't want you. Nobody wants you around here, Riddle. Nobody even likes you. Bro, I don't appreciate those harsh words, bro. Because, quite frankly, bro, I could knock you and Miz's teeth down your throat whenever I wanted to. He goes, okay. Well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is, lad? Because you got, no friends, lad. It's silly. So, what about me and Mike? Next week, you can find yourself a friend. We'll have a tag team match. Because you know what, bro? You're on, bro. I'll find a friend, bro. And then Waller walks off and we see, it sort of pounds on Ridley. He goes, I'll find a friend, bro. I'll find a friend. We then cut backstage. Bayley, Cora, and Dakota are being obnoxious to random backstage employees because Cora just won the belt. They're going, see, we told you, winner, winner, winner. And then Anne-Marie and Kelsey sort of like, they stop and then they walk in. And then Bayley smiles at him. She goes, I told you, you know. You finally seen the light, girls. And she goes, yeah, you know. It's time to quit being little girls and start being the stars that we know we are. Okay? And if you need friends for Survivor Series to take on Kyrie and her group of chums, we got your back. Bayley goes, "Aw, yeah, let's go." So, Anne-Marie and Kelsey are the final two on the heel side. They're not a member of Damage Control. They are just allies, because I want to keep it just as a trio, the same way that Nikki isn't actually with them in real life. Yeah. 90! This has been one of the best episodes of SmackDown in terms of in-ring performance, like, ever. The pre-announced match between Johnny Gargano and Angel Garza. Gargano gets the win. You know, he's the one with the tag team title match next week, so he needs to win more. He beats Garza in 15:40, Hertz Donut. 88 for Gargano, 76 for Garza. And yeah, that's what he gets for flirting with Gargano's wife, I guess. And Johnny Wrestling and Ciampa will face Idris and Malik next week for the SmackDown tag titles. We then got backstage. Morgan and Hams are in their locker room. Hams is like playing with Goku the pig. And she goes... And then Fallon and Otis walk in. And Morgan goes, what, hey, what do you want? He goes, oh, sorry, there's no food here, you know, Hammy ate it all. Fallon's like, looks at Otis. And like, looks across at Morgan and Hams. She goes, well? And he goes, no. No, I've been here before. And Morgan goes, well, what does he mean? What's he talking about? Fallon goes, well, Otis here, you know, was wondering if you, Morgan, would be interested in next week going out to my bar with Otis. Morgan goes, oh, what do you mean, like as a friend or like as a date? And then Fallon's like, I think he was thinking, you know, as a date. And Morgan goes, whoa, okay. That's all very sudden. But, like, I'll need to check my schedule, you know, because I got a lot of kind of appointments. And then Hams walks up and he goes, she'll be there. And she goes, Hammy. And he goes, what? He goes, great. Otis will look forward to it. And then Fallon and Otis walk out. And Morgan's like looking proper stressed. And Hams is just there stroking a stuffed pig with a shitty grin on her face. Like, what? What did I do, friend? Why are you so mad? And she's like, oh, never mind. So, next week, we got a big show. We will see, as we've announced last week, the SmackDown Tag Team titles will be on the line as DIY's Johnny Gargano and Ciampa defend against La French Connections, Idris Inoue and Malik Blade. And I've just realised this is quite a tag team match heavy show because we also have the Limit Breakers taking on the reunited Cyclone, Bronson Reed and Ricochet, against Keith Lee and Braun Breaker in what should be a big tag team match, you know. Big statements made for the tag division with these two teams entering it. We then have another tag team match. Grayson Waller will team with The Miz to take on Matt Riddle and a friend, if he can find a friend. That will be the team. And then, after their win on this week's show, we're going to have a singles match next week. You know, Mackie's wrestling Deanna on Raw, but next week on SmackDown it's going to be one member of Toxic Attraction against a member of J-Flow when Gigi Dolan collides with Nina. And then moving on to Survivor Series, as we heard earlier on, the Samson Shaq Showdown. is going down at Survivor Series. It will be Alistair, Brody King, Mark Andrews, and Flash Webster of the House of Black taking on Ezekiel, Elias, Elrod, and Ernie Jr. of the Sampson family. You know, after that bullshit they pulled at Halloween, it's time to finally sort this out once and for all. The Sampsons against the House of Black at Survivor Series. And we knew the 3 members of Damage Control against the 5 on Kyrie's team, but we now know the full lineup. It will be the SmackDown Women's Champion Kairi Sane teaming with AJ Lee, Shotzi Blackheart, Utami Hayashishita, and Asuka to take on Bayley, the new Liberty Champion Cora Jade, Dakota Kai, Anne-Marie Porter, and Kelsey Cook in a 5v5 Survivor Series clash. A lot of bad blood there in that one. And an 89 rated main event, you know, to round off this night of bangers. Seth Rollins and LA Knight go 17:56. I'm not even going to bother hiding the screen. You know who won. Seth beat him with a curb stomp in 17:56 to make defense number 2 of the WWE title. LA Knight gets a 78 and a 93 for Seth Rollins. Then after the match, Solo gets in the ring, he hands Seth the belt, and he holds Seth up high into the air. And they sort of look down at LA Knight on the floor, and Solo picks him up and gives him a big Samoan drop. And then Seth's like, you know what? I'm done with him, you take care of him. Solo tosses LA Knight to the outside, and he gets him with a big Samoan drop through the, or spinning Solo or whatever, through the table. And then Solo gets back into the ring. He stands side by side, arms folded, with Seth Rollins, who holds the WWE title up high. Out come the Usos. And they're like, you know, Seth, you're getting too comfortable. You see? You know, the tribal chief, he ain't here tonight. But that don't mean the bloodline ain't here tonight. And then Jacob Fatu jumps Seth from behind. And then Solo Sikoa pulls him off, and them two, the 2 big Samoans, start brawling. Then the Usos storm to the ring and they try and take the fight to Seth. So Seth and Solo are actually outnumbered by members of the bloodline. When the 3 masked thugs run out through the crowd. And they jump the Usos and Jacob Fatu. We've got, there's a smaller one. Then there's a very big one. And then there's a big one, but not as thick as the other one. But like, there's still 2, there's clearly 2 big men and 1 smaller guy. So then the biggest guy obviously goes for Jacob Fatu, and then the other 2 take down the Usos. And they all hit finishers, which, you know, are the finishers of the people that are under the masks. But we haven't revealed who's under the mask just yet. But that would be the hint before they do unmask of who they are. And then Seth sort of laughs. He goes, ha 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 ha. He walks up to them all, he high-fives them all, and he leaves the ring. And he goes, you know, the floor is yours, the floor is yours. And then I imagine they're all, like, in, like, all black, like, clothes. And they just unmask. And standing there in the ring, unmasked, are 3 gentlemen who we've never seen on SmackDown before, but could be familiar to fans of the in-universe NXT. This gentleman, by the name of Buster Gates. This gentleman, by the name of Nebo Barnes. And this gentleman, by the name of Rufus Hamilton. And then, of course, Buster takes the mic, and he just goes, "The revolution is televised." Drops the microphone. And then Seth just laughs at the time. He's like, ha 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 ha. Good job, boys. Let's go to war. So yeah, the 3 unmasked gentlemen are Ricky Starks, Calvin Tankman, and Alexander Hammerstone. But they're all in NXT, so they all had to be renamed. So we got Buster, Nebo, and Rufus. You know? Because what I wanted to do was one of my, not an actual goal in the series, like that you left, just something that I personally wanted to challenge myself to do, was like create a trio of just like the Shield in real life, where you like look at them all and they all went on to like become world champions and shit. And a lot of the time I start out booking like stuff like that, but then I always like drop and change where I want to push. I was like, I really want to make it just a trio where in the future they will all go on to like be top stars. Like my own version of the Shield, for lack of a better term. But they're gimmick-wise, they'll be nothing like the Shield, but like that dynamic. And these were the 3 best guys I had in NXT for. I was like, yeah, this kind of fits as a group. You know, obviously this is the Ambrose. And they're both Roman Reigns'. Yeah. Interesting group. I mean, now I apparently know who the final 3 men on Seth's Survivor Series team are. These 3 here. 92 rated show. Solo was overused, but you know, that's how you get him over. But something that I haven't mentioned all night is that on Heat there is actually a Cruiserweight Championship matchup between Wes Lee and Rey Mysterio, which we'll get to that show coming up now. There he is. And he's, if I do say so myself, he's got a fire new logo. The Nese, Tony Nese is out here. Oh, sorry. Anthony Nese is out here, accompanied by the Daivari brothers. And he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, before your scheduled episode of Velocity must continue, my name is Anthony Nese, and I must introduce you to my friends you know all so well, to the greatest cruiserweight competitors in the history of WWE, my good friend Arya Daivari, and his friend, sorry, not his friend, his big brother, Sean Daivari." Now, you know, us here in the Nese business, we're all about moulding the face of cruiserweight wrestling and changing that face of the cruiserweight wrestling. And quite frankly, that face of cruiserweight wrestling has been right here. A combination of myself, Anthony Nese, Arya Daivari, and Sean Daivari are here to change the game. And my business and Daivari's investments are going to help us take over Velocity. Then out come the Timothy Thatcher crew. And they're like, "You think this is going to take over Velocity? Let us be known that this is the trio here that's going to dominate this brand, okay? If you've got a problem with that, trios match right now." So if it wasn't obvious who the Nese business were a parody of, you know, Arya Daivari's now in the group. So 73, oh my god. Thank God. Words I never thought I would say. Okay. Thank God that wasn't an injury to Anthony Nese. You know? I'd have been livid. But Thatcher, Lorcan and Gulak beat the Nese business. Thatcher pins Arya Daivari by a London Bridge falling down. 70 for Oni, 82 for Gulak, who strained his back. Hashtag bars. 80 for Timothy Thatcher, 54 for Sean Daivari, 60 for Arya, and a 78 for Anthony Nese. We then cut to RJ City, and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I was sat at home, I was watching Heat, you know, because I love the WWE, you know, I'm a big member of the WWE universe, and Brandy bestowed upon us the knowledge of the Heat Next Gen tournament, and I thought, can't let her have all the tournament fun now, can I? So, it is now going to be official. We are introducing Cruiserweight Trios Championships exclusively for Velocity, because I know that's a lot of belts. You know, the Cruiserweight title can appear on Raw or SmackDown. The Trios belts, exclusive to this brand. And we're going to find out the brackets next week. How about those apples, huh? So yeah, I finally think I'm ready to, you know, actually introduce the Trios belts. I've got enough Trios. I'm not going to say the exact bracket, but I can probably run down the 8 teams off the top of my head, just based on who I've got. Obviously the Nese business, of course. The Thatcher group. You've got Ari Sterling and the Booty Twins. You've got MSK. You've got the Lady Killers. You've got Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong. You've got 3 members of Legado de la Sombra. I guess Cruz, Joaquin, and Eva, Grandma, Lee Collinse. or Death from Above and one of them, or any combination of those. And I think the Grizzled Young Veterans and Charlie Dempsey of the Regal Coalition. I think I had those written down, but I can't think of any others that would be in it. Yeah, I think that's about it. And then obviously we'll throw more trios together as the belts go on. But because I feel like I won't have enough room to have all the belts on, and because a lot of the people are specifically signed to Velocity and not to Raw or SmackDown, then the belts won't float like the Cruiserweight and the women's belts on Heat can. I feel like just keeping that confined to this show will be a nice USP. 69, nice. The House of Blacks, Mark Andrews and Flash Webster pick up a quick win over Jason Suede and Bradley Prescott IV. Andrews pins Suede of a shooting star press, 43 for Prescott, 49 for Suede, 58 for Webster, and a 78 for Andrews. Yeah, just get them a nice win, you know. They don't wrestle a lot as part of the House of Black right now. We then get to Ray and Dominic in the Gorilla head of Ray's match with Wes Lee for the belt. When who should walk up but Anthony Nese? You know, he goes, boys, I tried. You know, the Daivari brothers, they're my friends. I'm going to stick with them through thick and thin. But it's time to really get this ball rolling on the Nese business, you know. Really prove that we are all about the future of Cruiserweight Wrestling, the face of Cruiserweight Wrestling. And you two are both of those, you know, Ray's the face, Dominic's the future. Take my cards and think about it. And they're both like, we're not interested, thanks, now bye. And then Ray goes out for his match with Wes Lee. That gets a 76. And in 17 minutes 31 seconds, Wes Lee pins Rey Mysterio to become the Cruiserweight Champion of the world. He was originally my original pick to, like, underdog to tournament victory. This is before he got a singles push in real life. But now he has had that. I'm like, yeah, we can roll with him as the champion now. And I need the belt off Ray for reasons. And yeah, 76 for Ray, 66 for Wes Lee. And we do have a new Cruiserweight champion. Then after the match, Ray and Dominic get into the ring. And they look at Wes. And Ray just hands the belt to him, puts the belt around his waist. You know, like Bryan Danielson, Daniel Garcia. And then he says, you know, Wes Lee, you know, give it up for Wes Lee. Beat me fair and square. So Wes, I know you're a Velocity guy. You're not signed to either Raw or SmackDown. You're a member of the Velocity brand. Well, I think that your talents should be showcased on Raw. So how about next week on Raw, I invite you to Raw to have a Cruiserweight Championship celebration. You can bring Leslie, you can bring Tristan, you can bring all those guys with you. Me and Dom will be there. I just want the USA Network and the entire WWE universe to see the future of WWE. And Wes is like, yeah, sick, I'll be on Raw. But yeah, new Cruiserweight Champion to end a eventful episode of Challenge Run across both SmackDown and Velocity. Let me know what you thought of the shows in the comments below. And I'll see you next time for episode 308, which will be Raw on the Roof. See you then.